Welcome to the kingdom. Welcome to the kingdom. This is London, guys. Welcome back. We have some phenomenal news. I want to go through some trades that we have put forth. First of all, let's look at Dogecoin. We're going to be talking about Dogecoin, Bitcoin, some other great coins you guys have in terms of altcoins. The big news is that the trades, the trades that we have announced in terms of the pricing targets, they are working out phenomenally well. So I want to go ahead and go over the trades. What we do on this channel, if you're brand new, we look at trading. Let's say target pricing targets. I don't know how you want to say this exactly. It's not financial advice. Okay, I kind of stumble around. This is not financial advice. What we do is we use the programs to try and come up with some pricing targets. Okay, essentially we use the Fibonacci's. We're heavy on the technicals. I have a previous background with being a financial analyst, a very successful one, and so we do bring you kind of the most precise, in terms of the most precise information, I'd say very accurate and in a very timely manner. So for instance that we have is, and this chart looks like it's been through a little bit of analytics, okay, but we had a few different trades going on in the last, I'd say, what is it, guys, last 48 hours. In the last 48 hours, you guys have done very well. You guys who have paid attention to the channel, you've done very well. I'm glad that you're paying attention and that you're following essentially what these programs are able to tell us. Now we're looking at TradingView. I wanted to start off with something very important today. Okay, we're looking at TradingView. What I want to bring up on Binance. Binance gives us TradingView, okay? If you'll look at the layout from within TradingView, okay, from within Binance, the TradingView interface is not complete. So when you do your diagnostics, guys, you can still draw your fibs, you can still get into the technicals, okay, when we're talking about pricing targets. And that's what we do, guys. We are literally on the ball with giving you the pricing targets that are matching up to allow you to maximize your gains. You may want to know, for instance, okay, that's something sounds real fancy, right? No, it really sounds like the truth. If you've been paying attention, you guys definitely know that. Let's pull in one of those pricing targets. But in terms of the interface that you're getting, please pay attention, because that interface, and for instance, this is a pricing target that we gave you. You guys look at the positive price action of Dogecoin since that time, and we'll kind of clean up the chart here in a second so you can see that. But a beautiful upward pricing trajectory in and about. If you guys just entered into that 1948 price that I gave you, that was amidst the fallout, guys, amidst that awful fallout. You're looking at a total of about 50%. You're about 46% on your trade. That's just since that's within the last 2 days, guys. Within 2 days, you hit our pricing target. Bam, you're up 50%. Any other previous levels have been covered. You're in the money. So congratulations, you guys are doing great. And I will show you, like this 1948. This is kind of the pickup region. And do notice that the one thing I wanted to get to not get distracted. I get excited about these trades, you guys have to understand. But Binance, we looked at the major interface is great, but it's lacking a lot of the tools we need. If we go directly to the Binance, the TradingView rather, tradingview.com, and we log in, we're able to get the full featured effect of all the differentials on top, all of the FX, all of the different, all the bells and whistles that you may not have on Binance. So please go ahead and use the tradingview.com. I want you guys to look into that one instead of just using Binance. It's a clear interface, but TradingView is the software, it's the program that's used essentially on all the exchanges. You guys will appreciate that. It's used on all of the exchanges. So we want to use the most efficient form to get the most accurate information that we can. And we're going to talk about kind of how today unfolded. Yeah, how today unfolded. First of all, I want to show you guys exactly that we got in at this Fibonacci level. At the 1948 was our specified pricing target. Now what I do, I give you guys a target, okay? I look at the diagnostics here. It's just in line with my background, guys. Out of Duke University, I got into being a lead analyst on a $1 billion deal, worked right across the table from Harvard. My numbers had to be good enough for Harvard, and we did. We closed that $1 billion deal. It was phenomenal, but I got a real taste for accuracy, like 100%. It has to be as accurate as you can possibly get it. That drives big deals, and that drove a lot of success that I've had throughout my career. So as I look at that, people say, well, why are you doing this now? Because, guys, I've been through politics, I've been through all kinds of stuff in life, and to tell you the truth, crypto is the most fun I've had in a long time. So it's nice to just relax and have a great community like you. We really appreciate having you here. Let's see if we can clean this up just a little bit. I may take away these moving averages for a minute so we can really see what we are doing. Let's see if we can clean some of this up. And I want to talk about the pricing targets and just kind of the way, we'll also get into some of the functions of essentially of TradingView, okay? And let's talk real quickly. We talked about the difference between Binance and actually the interface of TradingView.com, okay? For those of you who don't know, I'm going to go ahead and say real quickly, go to Twitter. You guys know this, maybe you don't know this, but a lot of the pricing targets that we are releasing to you, okay, come in the form of this today, okay? A pricing target that arrived to all of our Twitter followers exactly here saying, look, advanced traders only, okay, gauge your entry dynamics, but bam, this looks like an entry point, okay, today. That looked like an entry point. Since then, you're up in and around, depending, I think about 10%, okay? So that's a phenomenal, kind of a short term, within a few hours, something that's doing very well, giving you some guidance in terms of when you should enter into a trade. Now, it's not me saying it, essentially it's the diagnostic. It's this program that's being used that I'm able to translate to you. I always put a warning there. I always say you may be sirens blaring, just something so that you understand this is, and especially this trade, may be a little bit more advanced than the average trade. But I will break it down tonight to show you why you should have a little bit more confidence in some of the matters. And as you learn technical analysis, now, what is technical analysis? Well, we're in the markets, right? We're dealing with pricing structures. We're dealing with timed events, price action, and we're trying to capitalize on that, or we're trying to profit from that. Well, technical analysis is essentially the idea that we're going to use the previous price history along with patterns, okay, along with patterns and kind of the pricing behavior, and we're going to try and predict what's going to occur in the future. It's not going to be a random, kind of a randomized event. Instead of, say, a randomized event, we're going to excuse this real quickly. We're going to use the previous kind of the historical pricing action to project or to kind of put in line what's going to happen here in the near future. That way we can profit, we can make a decision based upon that previous information. And we get into a lot of different things. Some are very confusing. We have a great crowd. I appreciate being able to talk to you guys. Throughout the day I've been communicating with a lot of you. We do have, I brought up the Twitter. To get plugged in, guys, to get plugged into these pricing targets, you're going to want to just type in the kingdom, okay? Type in the kingdom. It's real easy, okay, in the search box. Now, the difficult part, you'll have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Scroll to the bottom, click on go to the kingdom. All right, that's at the bottom of the search box on your phone, on your computer. We want you guys to plug in. We have a great group right now, about 2,000 people following. Here's a bull. We put this up today. It's a Bitcoin. We'll probably put some Doge and some other cool stuff in the background. This is our new spaceman. Just check him out. He's pretty cool, guys. He's got the laser eyes, Crypto Kingdom, and the moon. That's what we focus on, is getting you guys kind of up there in terms of you guys want a moon launch. We try and get you the right target for that. So go ahead and do that. Click on follow, okay? We also have something called Spaces here, which is a group dynamic. We can launch phone calls. We can interact. It's a great group. We're the Crypto Kingdom. It's crypto with a K, okay? Crypto with a K, Crypto Kingdom, and it's under the Kingdom. So follow us there. We also have the Discord. I want to show you guys where we're actually putting this information out to you. This is our Discord, okay? The Discord link, and this is, guys, these are the pricing targets. This is the exact entry point. And we say, well, how did you really know the 1948? Let's look up the 1948. All I have to do is search in there, and I can show you very quickly. Look, this was the, let's see, 1948. This is the series of entry targets that I mentioned here. Let's see. 1948's all over the place. This was while it was live, while it was crashing, while things were, the heavens were falling, right? It was a big event, big ordeal. Everyone was a little bit worried. But what we did is, these are all the times I mentioned the 1948 in the heat of the moment going into that 1948 trade. And that's just 19 cents, 19 and 48 100 cents, okay? So that's exactly what was hit. I sent that out to the Discord group. Essentially, we have a Doge traders. You guys will love it. Follow that link, and the link is in Twitter. It's in this first section here, Discord link. Bam. Go ahead and just click on that after you subscribe, and you'll be thrown into a great group. We do have rules. We're very professional. We have some phenomenal international people from Australia to Argentina. Shout out to all you guys. It's great to have you. And it's just, make sure you go to that Twitter. We use technical analysis. That is what we do. This is a very sophisticated crowd. You guys are very intelligent. And I know that you guys enjoy trading and making money, and your pricing targets, you get it. I know that you get it. So it's nice to have you guys here, given that fact that you understand it. Now, not everyone does. Some people just want to throw a dart at a dartboard, or they just want to, I always tell people that the most important part is not just what you're going to invest in, but you have to get the right price. If you don't have the right price, it's kind of, it defeats the whole idea of getting to the right price. So that pricing action is very important. As we look at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 5 kind of missed for a second, 6 picked back up into this level. Guys, these are all pricing targets. All of these are literally formalized trades, particularly in this area. And I'll just put up something here. Let me put up a vertical line here. In and around this area, I gave you the price target for number 2. All right, literally, I gave you that pricing target. You went up about 65%. We were live and said, we gotta go to bed. We gotta relax. We've been up on this pricing target for a while. It carried through phenomenally well. Number 3, right here. We gave you this pricing target. Again, as we're looking at when people want to know, well, right around here, we're able to give you this pricing target in around here. Number 4, bam, easy again, pricing target. Now this one, okay, this was a kind of a scary fall off, a big deal. We'll look at that in depth a little bit later. But you Doge traders, and guys, there's a lot of Doge traders right now. It's a very hot coin. So enjoy that fact. It's a good thing. But yeah, exactly here, guys. And I'm talking that 1948 exactly, like bam. Okay, it's just and let me see if I can juice this up a little bit in terms of visibility. Yeah, exactly, like bam, right there. Okay, that is exactly where we gave you that in the Discord. So just understand that's the level of precision that we're giving you. It tried to fall off the cliff. It did. It even overshot just a bit, a minute. I think the market maker was really clearing out. When you guys see these big dips in below and kind of these penetrating marks in below a level, okay, in below a pricing target, I want you to understand that's probably the market maker going down. Okay, the market maker, the guy in the exchange who's managing everyone who's buying, everyone who's selling. He's putting together the orders, right? Well, when he goes down and flushes through a system like this level in and around 20 cents, or what is that, 1970, okay, 20 cents. Our line was 1948. I didn't have stop orders at all. I didn't mention that, any protective stop orders. That just was not, that wasn't part of the deal. So as we look at that, essentially the market maker will probably establish something. He will, because some people will get in at a certain price, they will clear out at, let's say if we lose 10 or 15%, they'll want to clear out. This kind of penetrated action here, where you see a deep dive into the price structure here, that's where the market maker is going to clear out anybody who's in there who doesn't really want to be in there. So they wind up just clearing the floor out here. This was the proper price target here. That's exactly what we gave you in the Discord. And a lot of people will talk about charts and different different, what is it, triangulated formations. We can go through that, and we do go through that. That's part of trading, certainly. It got a little interesting because once people had cleared about, I'd say 20% in and around this area that were members of the Discord, etc. Some people that I have sessions with, we have a program called Alpha Traders, okay, and we teach people how to handle alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is the percentage by which you're beating the market, okay? The average, let's say, market gain, if the average market gain is something that looks about like this, and we kind of want a clear palette for this, or a clean slate, but if that's the average market gain, if you're able to produce a gain in, let's say, say this is 20%, if you're able to make 40% on your portfolio, then this area in here, this entire area, that extra area, guys, that's what alpha is right there, okay? And just understand that. That's what alpha is. If this is the average market, if that's exactly what the market on a whole is doing, or let's say an average asset, if that's the return on the average asset, you through trading are able to get into this higher kind of this different window, right? This higher profit window. That entire the amount of that profit window that you're able to achieve, that's alpha. So when we talk about kind of what we're doing, the alpha traders that we have, guys, that's our group. We have a really strong group. They're in Discord, they're in Twitter, and just shout out to some of those guys. Shout out to Kenny and to Kent and just everybody who's over there. There's a lot of guys that are working hard. So they're picking up on these pricing targets. We went through in and around this time, and I think it was about at a 20% gain on this one. things started to go sideways a little bit, and we can typically tell, you guys know that, you can typically tell by the velocity, okay? The velocity is going to be like essentially the positive, the degree of positive or vertical price action that something is going to receive, okay, or something's going to achieve within a time frame. And as you look at that time frame, okay, if it's within a short period of time or a short time frame, it's going to have a high velocity to it if it moves a lot of vertical distance within that short time frame. So high velocity events are what we kind of want to hold on to. That's what we want to say, yeah, that feels really good. When that begins to slow down, I'm saying feels really good in terms of, you know, how you're watching your trade develop after you've hit a pricing target. We hit a pricing target here. We were happy it held. We woke up in the morning and yeah, sure enough, Dogecoin decides to go to the upside. Huge, I'd say success for Dogecoin, especially relative to the other coins that are kind of going on. We just, you know, Doge just continues to impress. So we hit the pricing target. It did hold, and we were just very, very pleased because, guys, it did drop down. The market maker cleaned out all of these. Any stop loss that was around, he decided to absolutely clear those stop losses out. No orders were still, you know, just kind of, there were no lightweights left. It was all the guys who knew their pricing target. We woke up and it literally had settled around here. I'm like, you guys see, we got the pricing target right on. We're right in line with what the market maker's trying to accomplish. Thereafter, we went up about 20%. Some may have capitalized on a 10%, etc. I think it was early. It was early in the morning, real late at night, etc. when this was occurring. So some of you may have just decided, okay, that's fine, we're out, just to kind of preserve your. That was a rambunctious day, to say the least. Now, what happened is, you know, some of you have held. For those of you who have held, I'm just going to say you've done extremely well on our pricing target. Okay, you've done extraordinarily well. You're up 47%. Guys, that's phenomenal. Congratulations. I'm glad you guys are watching the channel and that the pricing targets are working out. You're up 47% in the last 2 days. That's great. Guys, if you cashed out as things started to move a little bit sideways, hey, I'm phenomenally impressed that you have the discipline to take profits. No one ever went broke taking profits, guys. You can make 10 and 15%, and you can do that 5, 6, 7, 8 times, depending on exactly how much the percentage that you get, and you can multiply your money. You guys know that. Kind of the rule of 72, whatever your return is, divide 72 by that number. That's about how many frequency intervals you need to multiply your money by 2. So you can, yeah, focus on 10%, focus on 15%. You guys who are up 40% right now, phenomenal. That kind of dedicated, strategic, let's say highly disciplined approach that we don't have to make all our money today. And I had a great discussion with a guy from, he's a member of the Alpha Traders. And, you know, he just said, incidentally, if you guys want to, let me say this real quickly. If you guys want to ask me a question, the Discord link that's in our Twitter, this Discord link right here has a kind of an interface where you can plug in directly. And there's an issue here says Ask London, a channel there. You can just ask me questions. I am London. This is the Crypto Kingdom. You guys know that. So with the pricing target, you're up 45%. That's our target. Okay, I didn't hear that pricing target anywhere else. Like not on a single other channel anywhere. And we're capable of doing this pricing targets for Dogecoin, for any financial concern. Essentially, that's what our expertise, that's what my expertise lies in, is kind of financial analysis. That's what I love doing. This is not financial planning. You guys, I told someone today, I don't care about, you know, the cost of your home, of your, you know, from your dog food to your future ranch, you know, whatever you're allocating money. All I want to talk about are the essentials of the price of Dogecoin and how we can try and trade this the best from an analytical standpoint using the software that the exchanges give us. That means that in and around this level, I'm giving you this price right here, and I'm giving you that price because it's calculated by the software. So that's how I'm able to plug that in essentially to the community here, and you guys are able to kind of run with that. If you disagree at all, if you guys ever run to an aspect where, you know what, London, we just disagree this time, that's great. Let me learn from you. You guys can maybe teach me something in the future. That'd be fine. I'm perfectly willing to learn always. So I've learned a lot along the way, and some of you, I know we have some very capable people in the community, and some of you guys are doing very well, so that's good to hear. Now, after exiting in and around this area, now this was the 23rd, okay, so that's in and around yesterday at some point in time, people did decide to kind of hit the escape valve. It went sideways for a while. This was a lot of just lateral price action, guys. Kind of boring for a minute, but nice in that it was still moving, okay? It was still, you know, I'd say just, it was still surviving in and around this upper level, okay? when this was occurring, it was kind of like, well, it's kind of consolidating. It's like, well, maybe it wants to kind of go up. We kind of anticipated maybe it would hit the next level down. Instead, whoa, okay, now we want to pay some attention. And that's where I started paying attention. I wouldn't have been impressed if it started to go down here. The fact that it had reached kind of a new kind of interim, just an interim recovery high, then it started to follow what looked like a little bit of a trend. As soon as it continued to do this, I was plugged in and around this time, and that's what we trade, guys. We trade the trend. We're always looking at the trend. We're always looking at what's that next repeatable pattern that we can possibly follow in order to capitalize on the future pricing action. So you guys are getting into trend analytics. I do have a link to a book here and some framework that you can look at, technical analysis, the future market. This is a 500-page book. You don't have to learn everything. Listening to this stream and listening to the program will get you to a lot of the information that you need to get to. We'll be able to deliver that. I can teach you guys really quickly right now. I went over this with someone today. This is called a polyline. If you ever look at a polyline, this in here, if you ever search for it, it's called polyline. It'll allow you to kind of dance around and make multiple clicks, do a line that you can thereafter kind of remove and take a look at the pricing action just kind of separate from where you're at. Some of the techniques I'll try and go over a little bit on TradingView. It's complicated, particularly more so if you're stuck in Binance and trying to work TradingView from within Binance, because you lose a lot of the features. So this is a premium pro edition of TradingView. So yeah, we're able to make use of as much of it as possible. In line with this, we're looking for a channel. That's what we started to define. Now, after the original trade executed profitably, okay, there was an escape latch. People who wanted that escape latch, they took it. Fantastic. Amidst a huge crash like this. Now, Dogecoin it crashed through the floor, guys. You have to look at this. That was a significant move. All right, now it has tons of upside. I'm not harping negatively on it whatsoever, but it went down 40% within a period of like, what was it, an hour and a half? It felt like 10 minutes. So it went down about 40% very quickly. It's kind of like a flash crash. Since that time, okay, people literally, and along the way down, people picked up that 1948. We've already shown you the 1948, all these. I was able to get that information immediately, kind of on an emergency basis, to our Doge trader community and Discord. So you guys make yourselves known there. We had a great conference call last night. Shout out to all the people who were on the conference call. You guys are very professional. I'm very impressed. Just unbelievable. You guys are like VP managers, regional managers. Some people in the house are stockbrokers. You guys, it's a great crowd. Like I'm very phenomenally impressed with the group here. It's nice to have you all. So after this original exit that we got into around this area, I just bring up the fact that it looks like we established what could be defined as a trend. And that's defined by these two yellow lines here. Okay, the trend, essentially a trend. And let's move to the line chart for a minute. It's a little less noisy. Okay. And I'm going to clean up some of these. These were just vertical lines, were just indications of when you were told about additional trades. This was an additional trade. All these, we just get into, you guys know we're pulling trades all the time. You understand that. Let's see what we have here. Now. All right, we're talking about the fake out, the breach. Now what we have, and I'll lay this out very quickly. We have kind of what's looked at as a support line, okay? This is multiple contacts, at least a generalized contact. If we get to the candles, it's a contact within the region of this, what develops into a support line. And we need multiple contacts, along a specified line for it to turn into what could be called a base, let's say a base support, or a kind of a max line of resistance within maybe a channel, okay, or a different pattern formation. So we're looking for multiple contacts along this upper line. We're looking for contacts here in this portion. Then we're looking for, and around the top portion, we're looking for more contacts. As you change, always be aware of this. It looks like we're redrawing here. We are, guys. As you change time intervals, if you go from the 1 hour, and this isn't available on your Binance, guys. This is only available on the actual TradingView.com interface. This has more to offer than your other exchange software. Make sure you get into TradingView.com, all right? Make sure you get into that so you can plug in all the features, okay? At the top here, you have all of the different time frames. When you change these time frames, all right, this line is going to change. So it's not ideal. It requires you to work, and it always requires you to remember what you're doing. Because if you're working with pricing targets, if you're working with price entries, the last thing you want is to work on an adjusted frame. Let's go to the 4-hour real quickly. Let's see if it held on the 4-hour. No, see guys, now on the 4-hour, you can see, look at this. We had just drawn it to contact with each of the two peaks here, these interim peaks in this channel. You see, now we have a clear distance. It's just the way that things are calculated, but now we have a clear distance. That's where the 4-hour hit, as opposed to the 1-hour. But you guys see that? You see what's happening here? So look at how things adjust. When I talk about like the difference in the program at Binance versus the difference in the program here, let's go back to, there's an important reason why I'm bringing this stuff up, okay? So, that's more in line, and we can take it back again after. Now we want to really measure in. We want to say, okay, great, is that exactly on? That's exactly on. Let's do that one more time just to kind of see what we're looking at here. Let's make sure there's another. Is there still a gap there? Yep, there's still a gap there, guys. So you would have drawn this completely differently if you were on the, and let's just do this for a second. If you were on the 4-hour versus the 1-hour, you might have drawn originally something that looked kind of like, let's just say kind of like, I don't know, maybe kind of like this. It would have looked different. We know for an absolute matter of fact, it would have looked different than is essentially what we had drawn out on the 1-hour. Okay, so between the 4-hour and the 1-hour, bottom line is we pay attention to the same timing interval because it's going to change. Just be careful what you're looking at, guys. If you're making out pricing targets, you're doing the work on your own. I know a lot of you are involved in that right now. A lot of you are heavily into Fibonacci's, heavily into kind of technical analysis. It's exciting because you feel like for the first time you have a leg up on this. You feel like, well, I look at the RSI, I look at the, maybe the MACD, and I throw in some moving averages along with my Fibonacci's, and I'm ready to go. Well, some of you do that and you don't even know for sure what's the best time frame to be on. Okay, you have to know these details. You have to be able to go through this information and be able to at least justify where you're at. Why is the 30-minute, the 30-minute interval about the same as the hour on our charts right here, but the 4-hour is so off, it literally would recreate a different channel for us to even consider. Well, there's just a lot of experience goes into those formulation and calculations, and I just want you guys to be careful about that, and be careful who you source your information from. From me, be careful, and from everyone, just kind of stay aware and make sure you can do kind of this due diligence on your own. Now, what we brought you earlier, and this went out to our crowd in Twitter. You guys were excited to be able to bring it to you. It was kind of a continuation, let's say an upward channel that we saw after we hit our pricing target in around 19. That means executed trades, and me talking with people in the community that, up 10%, up 20% from this point in time. That's money. That's money in the bank, guys. That's beautiful. Now, it started to go laterally here, okay? This was kind of some lateral trajectory of the price. Sideways action. Uninteresting, right? We thought, well, at some point we're going to get a break up or down. We got to break up. That is just exactly what happened. It could have been triangulated a bit, although it's kind of extended to be. It's kind of an extended triangulation with not much of a base. I'll say that. So I wouldn't have necessarily said it would have been positive to trade the triangulation here. It could have been just as easily traded to the downside in terms of it being a continuation pattern. It could have been a continuation of this downward movement. So we would have wanted to pay extra special attention to not even really go that direction unless we had to. The fact it broke up, that's great. It broke to the upside. And when I say break out, a lot of people don't know what that means. When I'm talking like a breakout, if this were to be kind of a triangulated pattern, if someone wanted to draw kind of a level of, let's get in here and draw somewhat of a level of resistance on top. Okay, we have kind of a layer of support, a level of support along the bottom, multiple contacts along this level of support. Then we have the layer of resistance and along the top. Now this layer of resistance, okay, when I say it broke out, okay, people don't know, like, what does the breakout mean? I mean, when you watch it, literally, guys, when you watch the live feed, the live pricing action, it literally sometimes will look, and it's nice when you do see this, it will literally, you'll see the price, and it'll kind of sit here, and it'll just go, and it'll want to literally just break out of that. We don't mean just kind of fall over and barely, it can kind of like pour out slowly. I don't know, but when you get into something, you'll get into the pricing action, and this advanced feature that is included in the top level of Trading View will allow you to really see the pricing action just in real time, and you'll start to see, oh wow, it really broke out of that pattern. So when I say that, that's kind of the dialogue that's used, and it's not just like exciting talk, it's literally what happens with the pricing action when something's able to break out. Okay, so let's look back into this area. Now this has just gotten a little bit confusing here. The challenge was in and around this area, and we did, I think, capped out in around, let's just say we're in a position where we were forced to look at, did we want to take around 8-9% or not? Because we called out this entry level in and around here because it looked like things were behaving. Let's go back to the candles that we were watching. Okay, now the candles that we were watching, and I want to talk about Bitcoin because it's going to show you some confluence. We're going to talk about correlation. We're going to talk about what's happening with Dogecoin, why it's performing so well. Okay, it is performing well. We want to kind of get into the reasons, like, okay, Bitcoin is kind of driving the market. We're almost at the point where we can say that Dogecoin seems like Dogecoin is driving the market. Okay, and there's some reasons that I say that are somewhat realistic. Okay, we're seeing a lot of things turn. We're seeing a lot of red, and we're seeing Dogecoin kind of be the go-to right now. This happened all day yesterday, guys. We were on, and this just kept happening. It's like Dogecoin is trying to hold it to the upside. If Dogecoin can turn this and flip this, now I don't know if it can. It looks like it's moving south. The stop on this second for anyone who's in it, I'll say there's probably two groups of people in here. There may be a group that is still playing with this second trade. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys got out at the 10% or not. That's usually your call. Okay, a lot of times you guys just make that call, and that's fine. In terms of the getting out of the first, getting out of the second, you're at the second trade, and I'll go through the two trades that were kind of discussed. I'll go through those, but yeah, you're looking at 37 to 40% from the price entry. That's a beautiful 2 days, guys. If you're holding on, that's really nice. I want to talk about the threshold here, and we'll discuss the threshold here to see kind of what that threshold is and why it's kind of breaking down out of this channel. It doesn't have to do anything with the I'd say the dynamics, or let's say the crowd, or let's say the holders. They're not excited enough. None of that. A lot of this, it's reached kind of a maximum tolerance here. So I won't be real surprised if this, with Dogecoin, to tell you the truth, I'll be surprised if it doesn't continue to surprise us. How about that? It's just consistently been so strong. What we ran into after the trade, the notification was initiated in around this level. We got into about about a 6%, into about up to like a 10%, which is nice. If you can make 10%, guys, if you can make 9 or 10%, that's beautiful. That's phenomenal. If you can play a little bit of the action, we always talk about being very lightly involved as well, just to be a part of the action. And nothing, the big mantra on this channel, guys, you guys know that, is at the top levels, we don't have real big money, if any money, to invest while things are in the red zone. We just don't. It's very expensive, okay? Following kind of the law of supply and demand, a demand curve, when it's extremely expensive, there's no demand, guys. Now, it's experienced positive price action. It's not that we don't ride this up and we don't make a good profit on it. That's not the case at all. But when we're looking at re-entries and we're looking at acquiring coin at a good price, lowering our cost basis, okay? That's the price per coin. Of all the coins you have, what's the price per coin? We like to think of this 0 at the top. We like to think, just as an example, 100 in and around this first green zone, when it hits this first green zone. When it gets into the next green, maybe we double it. Maybe it's like 200, okay? When it hits this level and this price target. Now, we're very particular about how we draw our Fibonacci's, how we come up with these amounts. Now, if you draw a Fibonacci, you guys will know this. The nice thing about it is it sounds real fancy, but guys, it's real simple. They're just calculated ratios. They pop up on the right-hand side, and they give you pricing targets, okay? And they're just very well respected within the community. Binance gives you Fibonacci's. Okay, so Binance is literally giving you the software to everybody. It's the largest crypto exchange to go ahead and draw your Fibonacci's. All right, so that's nice. That works, right? That's no problem. So Binance does that. We're able to do that in TradingView. Binance is a little bit limited on some of the features, so we'll go through kind of the differences at some point with Binance versus the TradingView interface here online, but. We like to just stick with the TradingView online. We may play around a little bit more with Binance. It is a good exchange, and it also has some troubling issues to it. So I'm not going to comment all together on that. I know they've been locking down some coins and we don't like that. The big key here is trying to maintain this channel, and it looks like there has been a breakdown. Again, just like this trade kind of broke down and started to move sideways. Yeah, this trade ended around here. If you got back in and got maybe a 5 or 10% right now, at least I'd say you're in a position where no one that I know of who got into the trade has lost any money. You're marginally in the money while we kind of wait to see, well, can Bitcoin beat the group? Is it going to be the go-to again? Now, if all these start to go red and people just say we're putting our money back into Bitcoin, it could turn into a phenomenal event. It's maintaining not the channel, but definitely the positive trajectory and kind of the leaderboard here in terms of, and there are a few that are doing well right now. We like to discuss Dogecoin because it's just the best community that we know of. It's a very strong community. You guys have really suckered through it, and it hasn't been easy. You've been very patient. And for the people who weren't fans of Dogecoin or the actual technology, we've been all very surprised to see them be surprised, and it's been very nice because they understand that a lot of people are making a lot of money on Dogecoin right now. So there's nothing wrong with trading that. There's nothing wrong with being involved in the crypto market, and just leave it to just leave it to Elon Musk. And I want to bring up, someone reminded me in the chat, but something about Elon Musk that I think is very fascinating. I want us to learn something tonight. It's critical information. We'll discuss that in a bit. But yeah, he's got the number one business guy in the world, essentially, that is behind this. So it's hard to hate it. I'll tell you that. When it stalls out and it goes sideways for a long time, I give credit to all the people that were involved and stuck with it. And you guys have a great community. And it's a pleasure and an honor to have you guys here, as it is with all the group, with the Harmony One, with the if you guys are in BNB to Ethereum to VeChain and XRP Ripple, it's you guys are at the right place to start learning about technical analysis and price targets. We want to target the price. I want to bring up an example right now as we look at whether or not this is going to maintain a positive trajectory. Now, it doesn't have to. It looks like it's already kind of caved out of the primary channel. Okay, it tried to get back up in there though. I say it came out of here and it hadn't really hit the target. It was very close in terms of kind of the escape valve on this. So I was like, nah, it still hadn't hit it, right? I'm not going to call it. So it went up, I think, about 9 or 10% after that, which was nice. That's a nice gain, okay? On just some day action, okay? That 9%, that's nice, guys. Just to kind of hang around and make 10%, hang around and make 9%. So it kind of flirted with this for a second, showed a little more frustration here for a minute. So if you can capitalize out and make it, even an 8, 9, 10% gain, if you can put a little bit of money in your pocket, there's nothing wrong with doing that. So that's a successful trade, I would say. You're still in a successful trade, and I say at a light level, guys. I always talk about just peppering in some money. Just watch just a little bit of money, what it can do. Because at the lower levels, we are just huge on always having kind of a resource amount of cash, a real fundamental, heavyweight approach, a double down, triple down approach, guys. As you go down, there's nothing invested, just as a matter of principle, of a market participant. You're not going to pay anything for a very, if something's extremely expensive. You shouldn't, or else you get washed out. You get taken out of the market, essentially. You're overpaying for the goods, okay? So as you get into a more reasonable zone, maybe 100. The next zone, maybe we double that, 200. The next zone, maybe we double all of that, right? So as the price comes down, all we're trying to do is ensure, listen, that you are operating by normal market principles, okay, that apply to the demand, okay, to the demand of a product, okay. As it goes down, you have more demand. So that's in line with the pricing events here. As it goes down, you have greater demand, okay. That keeps your thought process and your approach, your strategy in line with ordinary supply and demand, ordinary demand principles. If you guys have studied business, you understand that if something's very, very expensive, you just don't want it. So there's no reason that we would operate differently in a market. Well, something's up 2,000%. Oh, I need to have it now. It's more expensive. No, we make money, guys. We literally enter into good prices. Let's look at a sine curve. I want to just breach this issue with you guys real quickly. I think you'll like this quite a bit. I want to bring up another option here. If you look underneath the on your computers, etc., if you look underneath the T, okay, the T is for writing things down, okay. If you look at the sine line, I want to bring this up and I'll make a sine line right here. Okay, guys, this is a sine line. You guys know sine and cosine. I didn't pay much attention. I paid enough attention in high school or whenever this was to really understand it. Now, when we look at a sine line, I want to bring up an example, okay, and just kind of forget what's in the background real quickly. Let's look at this, and we'll try and clean this up just a bit. Let's move over to this portion of the chart real quickly. Now, what a lot of people get into is, amidst their determination and everything they have going on in the market, they've convinced themselves that it's okay for them to enter because they're excited, or we need to get into a trade, or it's just we can't help ourselves, right? We'll decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into the trade right here. I know it's doing whatever it is technically. We're supposed to trade on some sort of I'd say a shape or a pattern, or at least the recognition that we should sell high. Let's say we should sell high. We should buy low. Okay, we should buy low. We should sell high. As this goes, we should buy low. We should sell high. Okay, we're out. Okay, we buy back in. We're out up top. All right. The more that this likes to do this in terms of price action, the more I like it. Okay, the more gains it potentially has. That's because there's more of a differential between the low and the high. You want to buy low, you want to accumulate heavier amounts of cash. Okay, are forced in at these areas. Here, bam, this is where you're out. This is where you sell, okay? And for you, those of you who hold, this is just an understanding, kind of a primer on what people are doing in the market. It's helping it go to that to the price that it's going, essentially. There's a lot of pressure in the market. A lot of people are getting into the market from other coins. So welcome to you guys who are new, and to those of you holders, we love you. We're excited to have you here. Thanks for joining us. The more abbreviated, just in terms of an overall lesson, or the more extended, okay, the more extended of a curve that we have here, the more time there is in the frequency of kind of this undulation of this pulse here, this pricing action. We're still going to want to buy low, or buy more low if you guys want to accumulate, and that's kind of what the strategy is. Buy more low. We want to sell high. Okay, you could even say sell more high, or sell all of it high. We want to buy low, okay, buy low and sell high. So as we look at that, as these durations, okay, as the periods within this, as the duration, the frequency, okay, as it becomes tighter, we like this more, because there's more opportunities for us to buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. So this is the type of pricing action that we begin to like. There's more opportunities for us to buy low and sell high. Something that's more abbreviated like this, we don't like it very much. Okay, it's a slower game. Something that's more in line with less price action, we don't like it so much. Okay, we can start to work with something that's less price action and more abbreviated, but you start to work really tightly and it gets a little bit narrow. So the more we can get these like this in terms of a short period of time. Now this is just an example, because what do you guys know now? Now you know every one of these periods is an opportunity to capitalize on a kind of a high-low event. I'll say high-low because that means the price has gone down. Yeah, every time it goes up, it's going to come down. You say, well, how does that apply if you want it to keep going up? Well, when it goes up, I promise you it's going to go down. We're not counting on it going down, but when they say buy the dips, you guys have to understand what that means. That means, what's the dip, guys? The dip's right here. All right? Yes, the dip is starting to dip in here. Maximizing your value, maximizing your investment, okay, means you don't want to buy in right here. If you do, you want to make sure you have more money, you have a reserve down here to be able to really input your capital here and really effectuate maximize your efficiency on your cost basis, okay? That means gain as much coin as you can, or as much of your investment or your asset for the lowest price possible. That's when you make money, when all of that hits the trajectory on the upside. That's when you capitalize, because you have more volume, right? It's just that's the whole idea. So I wanted to show you guys this sine curve, okay? Because not a lot of people have ever looked at this in the context of TradingView. Like, yeah, this is the essence of what a lot of people are doing wrong as well. Is they're determined they want to get in at this area and make this all relative. Forget about the chart in the background. Let's look over here on the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, they're convinced that a lot of people get real anxious. They get kind of triggered. They get into a different mindset, and they say, well, I understand I'm supposed to buy down here, but I'm going to go ahead and buy right here. I want it to go up. Guys, the market doesn't care what you want to happen. On a collective basis, yes, we've sustained a lot of energy in Doge. I think it makes a difference. There are some market principles you won't be able to get away from, that if you buy high and you sell low, you're going to lose money. You'll never be able to change that fact. So as we look at the Doge chart, I want to that's the sine. That's kind of the lesson on the sine. Okay, you guys can understand that. I went through that today with one of the alpha traders. So I thought it was interesting and maybe just something we wanted to kind of look at for you guys. So let me see if I can. Let me get Control Z on this sucker and see if I can move this around. There we go, guys. Control Z will take you backwards in terms of what you have put on your chart. So the Control Z, that's a hotkey that you guys can take advantage of and kind of learn to work with your charts. If you push Control also and you scroll in and out with your mouse wheel, that's what will zoom you in and out. And on the right hand side, guys, as you lift up on this on the right hand side and you scroll down on this, okay, you click, you hold, and you scroll up, and you click and hold and you scroll down. That's going to adjust the entirety of what you're able to see and let you essentially magnify vertically. That's going to be a magnification vertically, okay, whereas this is going to be a kind of a consolidation or a magnification horizontally. So that's going to change your parameters. Let's just say if we push escape, just so you guys know, if you push escape, that's going to get you back to the overall kind of interface. If you click this button right here, and guys, all of you know how to use this already, I'm sure, but if you click this button right here, it looks like an expansion button, bam, that'll put you into full screen. Okay, so you lose essentially the kind of the toggle buttons, so that's important. But you can still work with hotkeys. If you want to draw like a vertical line, you might want to push Alt V. All right, Alt V will put you a vertical line, and you don't need essentially you don't need all of those toggle buttons. If you want a horizontal line, just hit Alt H. Alt H, Alt H. See that? Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay? So we can work with some of those additional issues, but I want you guys to learn some of the ins and outs of TradingView. And again, please pay attention because Binance, some of your other exchanges do not have the same features that TradingView.com has. So we stick with TradingView.com. Again, to kind of review, we got in at this pricing target. We were happy to be able to bring you that pricing target well before this point in time. It did go down to this. We essentially released that to our Discord. You guys know that in terms of the Discord. Let's pull up the general look of it. This is an example of a pricing target that I gave today. I think some people have made 5 or 10% on it after the original 20%. For those of you who got in at the 1948 and just held, phenomenal. For those of you who decided, yeah, we're just going to get in right here and that's it, and you're just going to hold on to that. Some people want to hold for value. That's phenomenal. I prefer to trade. I like to trade, so that's what I do. That's why I'm teaching you guys the technicals. It looks like Doge is trying to be the solo artist again today. From this entry point in here, okay, this kind of this reddish line, that's the entry point on the trade that I announced because it looked like, you know, it's a fundamental of technical analysis. It started to meet the definition of a channel, okay, and this channel, multiple hits on the top side, showing kind of a resistance, at least defining a pricing behavior, okay, and on the bottom we have a support. This is beautifully channeling along. Now it decided to dip down. It did get back up though, and it didn't hit this kind of the quit line. Okay, the quit line is like, you know, I really don't feel like losing money today, so I'm going to get in because it's looking predictable. It's starting to form a trend. And what did we have here, guys? I thought it was interesting because we had another moment, let's say a few moments, while on a different trade that we were involved in fully in terms of discussing the trade, the likelihood of, I'd say, of just profit. Guys, this was a very profitable moment here. This yellow line here, we brought you the pricing targets, okay, and around this 2, precisely the 2, okay, this 2 that you see, we brought you that pricing target in and around this area here. So if you guys are paying attention, you would have known exactly this pricing target. Bam. I think some of you made 20% then. If you didn't, I know some people watched. I think, guys, it was like 8,000 people that watched the video with this pricing target. So yeah, it was like 8,000 people that were exposed to the pricing target of like an eventual like 70%. That's huge, guys. For those of you who sat and waited for months and months and months to get the pricing of Doge where it's at, you guys know 70% in a day is phenomenal. On the tail end cusp of another 70%, that is beautiful. And we were live during this whole time. So not the whole time, but especially as it continued to hit this channel, this diagonal channel, we're just like, this thing is going to keep going, you know, so why pull out, why interrupt it if it's going to continue to go that way in that direction. So we now have kind of something to kind of lay over in terms of looking at the historical. It's a lot of what we do in technical analysis, excuse me. The technical analysis allows us, or it really requires us to focus on the previous historical events in the pricing action and to try and apply those to the instant action or to the current time frame to project in the future what will occur. That is the essence, taking the history of the pricing behavior. And let's say in this instance, we have a history of a recent pricing channel, okay, a diagonal channel, beautifully, okay, to the upside. Now, we would like to apply that notion to the current situation because we have formed another pricing channel. So we want to see what recent history and a possible program trade. And when I say program trade, guys, I don't mean just the program that we're using to trade. I'm talking about someone who has an accumulation interest in Dogecoin. Someone will say a large amount of money and let's say a large degree of capital who may have an interest in saying, I want it programmed or scheduled up that we accumulate between the price of 20 and push it up to 30. Okay, and I want to accumulate 500 million Doge during that period of time. Or I want to accumulate 2 billion Doge during that period of time. That is a programmed accumulation. That's a program trading that we can try and become a part of, especially if we're able to recognize the patterns that, well, it looks like someone may have done a program trade in and around this second pricing target. If I look at the number 2, it looks like something was really being programmed. I don't know how much of that was the fact that it's part of the software, okay, but we did point out this software, essentially this component of the software, and a lot of people trade on it. That's why they provide it. That's why Binance has this software and the Fibonacci levels built in. We do that as well, but we do it. We try and be as precise as possible. We have a good reach in the community. That got seen by about 8,000 people in total. So this video, if you guys are watching it for the first time or you're here live, it's better to be here live. I'll tell you guys, it's better to be here live and receive the information. We do a lot of kind of derivative analysis. That's real easy, guys. It sounds real complicated. That means what can we derive? What can we get out of this previous pricing structure, right? What can we derive out of this? Very easy, right? So it's derivative analysis. We're deriving from past events into, and we're laying it over, we're applying it to the current situation. Literally, if I wanted to just say, I want to clone this, I right click on this line that I was able to draw, right? I want to clone this, I want to bring this right here. That's it. Okay, that begins a derivative analysis. There are different components than just bringing over a line, okay? There's a different level of analysis we need to go into that's a little bit deeper, okay? It gets into some different fundamentals of just than a straight line approach. We can't just copy, for instance, necessarily a line and clone it and bring it on down. It may help for us to do that. If it's programmed, there may be no reason why if it's a continually repeatable function. Now again, remember what I just showed you. Remember what I showed you. The sine. Okay, like sine and cosine. Why? Because there's repeatable functions in that. Okay, now portion of this may have occurred up and around the top areas here. Portion of this may be around that top area. Let me see if I can grab hold of this sucker. Come here. All right. Portion of it may have been around here. Okay. I'm worried about this from the low to the high. Okay. Now we're going to bring this down into this area. And I would really like to see, but I'm going to show you guys something here. If we look at the threshold, this becomes kind of a threshold argument, and it becomes an interesting discussion because the threshold on the previous action, you guys saw that from that low portion all the way to the high portion in here. Now, as we do that, we'll notice there is some penetration here. There's the candlesticks, the wick of the candles are really floating down on that, right? So if we wanted to really look at this and hammer this up, we could literally say in and around this kind of zone right here, from the bottom of the candlestick up. And there's going to be a different analysis if we use the candlesticks than if we use, and all I'm looking at, guys, was that low up to the high, right? So now I want to bring in the low of this on up to the high. It would be nice if we were to see that level, that same trajectory. Now, I want to get into kind of the differential because now it's not just a cut and paste. Now it's not necessarily just a clone. All right, we're not in that kind of a dynamic necessarily. We want to dig deeper. What else can we learn about this? Well, let's try this again, but this time, let's take into account that we were at a higher price. Okay, we were at a higher price over here. So we're in two kind of diagonal components. I'm walking you guys back through what I was doing live with one of the alpha traders this afternoon. We were going through these dynamics immediately in real time to apply the situation to the active trade. That's what we do during the day. We're not hanging out, just doing nothing. We're literally digging into this stuff, and we enjoy doing it. So that's on the Discord, on the Twitter. You guys can Yoski, maybe you want to put the one of you want to put the a link to the Discord or to Twitter, and we'll post that on the top of the chat. Now, as we look at the fact that in this let's look at two dynamics. Now we're accomplishing right now a derivative analysis. Okay, we're deriving from this previous event. Okay, this diagonal channel. We're going to derive or extrapolate. We're going to apply it over what we can to the current situation, to this repeat notion that has wanted to form. Okay, so we're going to look at, first of all, let's look at the fact we were at a higher level, okay, at a higher price. So that we may not stick with the same exact price, why don't we look at percentage gain? Why don't we look at the percentage? Because it may not be the same increase in the actual, let's say, the vertical amount of increase. It may be more of a percentage. Let's look at the percentage that was gained. All right, if we take our ruler, take your ruler, hit on the bottom, essentially the lowest part of the wick, go up to the top. Okay, we look at 82%, an 82% gain. All right, now we're on the candlesticks. So I'm going to write down 82%. Okay, so I remember that 82% on the candlesticks. If I go to the line chart, let's go to the line chart and see just on the line chart, because I want to create an example here of what we can expect. I want to know, have we reached the threshold? Is it still a good trade for me to get into, right? Because I just went through the sine. I just went through this, right? And I just talked about the fact we do not want to buy in on any of these little interval kind of basis that we look at. If this is a representative price theory, we don't want to buy in up here and have to sell right here. We never want to buy at the top. We always want to buy here. Now, if for some reason something's going on, and let's say this is what things look like, if you'd like to play a move where, okay, I'm going to go with you on that, but let's just say for the heck of it, that maybe we're able to trade kind of a second channel here. Maybe there's a second channel here that is going to kind of sit on top of this channel somehow. All right? Give yourself some justification for it. I agree with you. Okay, great. What if we can start in and we're starting up on a second channel, maybe a second trade, and we're going to give it the possibility of lightly being involved. Okay, not too much money. I mean, I hate when people get overexposed, and when you have to explain that to anybody, I just don't. It's not worth getting overexposed. But maybe there's a second channel on top. Maybe there's the beginning of a new situation that we want to look at. So I bring that up as an alternative to this traditional notion that you have to get the technicals involved, guys. You have to know whether or not that's a reasonable idea. Essentially, when you're looking at, the reason I'm bringing this up now is because, in essence, it's one of those two, okay? Or it might just be one. When you're looking at a horizontal, or let's say a diagonal, or particularly a horizontal, but if you're looking at a diagonal channel, you're looking at a sine curve, all right? You're looking at you're looking literally at a sine wave, and the only difference is, guys, it's just turned diagonal for you. So we don't have to really have that other argument of, well, we have to kind of double up this and that. You're still going to have an optimal entry point here, and it's going to be along the bottom of that line. The sine is going to literally, sine wave is going to be literally just trapped within a channel. So you want to pick it up when it's on the bottom of that channel. Does that make sense? I put a dotted line in here for the guys that were looking at it in the Discord, but this little green dotted line that kind of represented, yeah, that's your entry zone. Okay, so in along this period, that is your entry zone. We'll see what it wants to do. Okay, it's acting like it wants to break out of that channel. I'm going to say it has broken out of that channel, but then it decided it wanted to crawl back up. Dogecoin has been beating every odd you wanted to throw at it. So, and it's already done this kind of a pricing behavior. So as we look at that, we're trying to measure again. We're trying to do the derivative analysis, and it doesn't seem like we can just bring the support line or bring the resistance line straight over. If we draw out the support of the resistance line, okay, and let's clean this up a little bit. We're going through some different dynamics to give you guys an idea of the level of calculations that we do on our pricing events, okay, on our pricing targets that we provide to you. Now, when we provided them to you, you guys know during the fall, okay, during this fall, we gave you the exact pricing target right in here. Bam, 1948. You guys pick up the 1948 if you agree that that's what the Fibonacci's are telling us. Now, granted, we redrew the Fibonacci's, okay, greatly. We redrew the Fibonacci's differently than anyone else had. We picked up on this 1948. It seems like everybody got on board afterwards. So they did, and then it started to push the price up. So congratulations, everyone who got in eventually, probably at a higher level than what we got in at. But yeah, big washout in terms of market maker really taking a lot of people's stop losses, etc., just taking their money off the books. We don't like to see that. So as we look at this, we have this sine wave. You see that now? You see the sine wave? So we want to pick up in this area that is most efficient, or towards the bottom of that sine wave, okay? And then around here. That dotted line, that's our strike zone. That was our strike zone right in here, okay? So the trade is still in the money if you haven't held since our original pricing target. And guys, this is probably the 6th pricing target we brought to you in the last 2 weeks. It's been consistent. You guys have consistently done extraordinarily well listening to this channel, like phenomenally well. Some of you guys may do this day in and day out. I'm hoping that you guys can continue to be a part of the community, because we have a great one here and with the Discord. Just Twitter, you guys know that. I'm posting these up on Twitter. We get a pretty good response, but I'm giving you guys even potential breakouts here, right? Potential breakouts. We have a crew of about 25 strong here on Twitter. There's probably about 8, maybe 600 on Discord. So it's a good group. But I'm talking about possible breakdowns, okay? We're talking about potential breach, okay? The exit will be where? Just so you guys know, the exit would be and along this this reddish line right here, okay? Has that been met yet? No, it hasn't been met, okay? So yeah, the trade is still active, okay? Still an active trade. I want to see what Dogecoin's going to do, and I don't particularly want to lose money on it. You know, I don't want that to be the situation, but it's seeming like it wants to kind of repeat this huge, positive pricing action here. This pricing dynamic of the previous horizontal channel. Now we looked at that. I wrote down, and sometimes we go in different directions depending on kind of what's going on with the price and what I see here and some other movements. I may talk about something real quickly to kind of try and kind of flow in the conversation. But these are all pricing targets, guys. Pricing target. This was a clear breakout of a bull pennant, which was very nice, easily traded. Okay, this was a pricing target. Given to you again. I'm going to bring this up. Given to you when? Bam, right here. Pricing target right here. Right there, we have a pricing target. Everybody knows that. Bam, where we get out? Right here. Okay, so pricing target, yeah, right here. You guys make 10, 20%. Pricing target here. Pricing target here. So as you add those up and you continue to get into it, that we have another pricing target. And again, it was qualified with expert traders only. You guys do your own homework, etc. But it has worked out well. There was a capitalization of about 20%, 10 to 20% in here. Another 10% in here already for some people in this zone. Probably I'd say 8 or 9% have done well like that. We'll just see what happens. It's nice to be involved in some pricing action while everything else significance kind of going down. So excuse me. Let's see. We were going on the percentages, right? 85%. I want to know if this is maxed out, guys. That's my threshold argument, or what we're getting into is, well, how do we know how much gas is there left in the tank, right? We need to know that. So let's do. It's part of our derivative analysis, and that means what can we derive from the previous price action, from the history of this sucker? What can we derive? What can we carry forward? Okay, now I'm going to be very careful about my measurements here. The other one was about 85, right? Think about 85, right? So this is at a lower price. Let's go ahead and hit that ruler and see if we measure this up. All right, now, here we're at 55. All right, so we're at 55 on this as compared to 85. That kind of tells me that maybe we have some room left, right? Except if we go to candles, watch this, guys. If we go to candles, the story changes a little bit because we went so far down here. So if we really explore the full degree of the candles, we're at 82. All right, now you guys know the first increment was 85, this one's 82. So that's where I had the discussion with the alpha trader that was on the phone with. That's kind of our development program, our DevOps. You guys in military and etc. We have some DevOps for training. Developmental Operations, that stands for, and that's nothing really military. Just wanted to say that. But as we look at this, that threshold has kind of been met. Now, if we go back and apply it back again, we're doing derivative analysis. We want to derive something from the previous pricing action, from the historical pricing action. That is the definition of technical analysis. What can you learn from the past? How can you apply it to the current situation? Let's get into. We're going to have to narrow this in just a bit because it was a big trajectory up. But let's get into the base of that candle and around here. Okay, let's maximize that up. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, 85, guys. So 85 if we're going candle to candle. All right, so going candle to candle here, we're about at the same. All right, so when I talked about the threshold, has the threshold been met? Is there some sort of, unspoken rule? Is it somehow programmed up in a way that we should be able to, to really kind of understand? And when I draw this up, guys, I'm drawing from the base down here up to the top. It puts this line in the middle. Don't be confused by that. It's the cursor on the right. I'm drawing up to the top of these two. Okay. So yeah, that's about 50 if we just go into the kind of the pricing target. But if we go down in here, guys, again, if we go down in to the base of where this actually penetrated all the way down into amidst that crash, well, we're at. Again, I'm looking right there when I'm closing this box out. That's 81.9. So we have the first one, which is 82. This one's 81.9. So we have both of them are about 82. Now, one was around more of around a pricing target. This has a bigger differential on this end. But you guys can see if we're dealing with issues like that, if we're really recreating, easy for me to say, if we're recreating a previous kind of pricing trajectory, if we're trying to implement that now and develop some degrees of certainty, the fact that we can't necessarily bring this entire, this entire, and it's close, we've about brought those down, we've lined them up a little bit. But it may not take that, guys, because on the line chart, it may not really represent what we're seeing or what we saw on the candles. So you always want to look at things like that. You always want to, kind of really make sure. Now, does that mean that this go is over? Not necessarily. Not necessarily at all. Like I said, Dogecoin is built to kind of overachieve right now. It just is. One of the issues that we have fighting against us, okay, right now is I would just say the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin has been undulating up and down. It's kind of broken through its primary level, its top level of Fibonacci's, and it's difficult for Bitcoin because it's broken through the red zone. Okay, it's kind of out, but it's trying to play back up on top. Okay, now I bring this up because this is very, very well coordinated with Dogecoin. All right, Bitcoin. Elon Musk is in charge of both of them. Don't tune out right now. You guys need to hear this. As we look at this, the flash crash happened in Dogecoin and Bitcoin when it broke through this top level. Okay, it broke that barrier and just look at the colors, guys. It broke through that, and it was certain it wanted to be through that. This was a huge drop. This is about a 3% drop. You guys pay attention to this. This was about a 5% drop in Bitcoin during this time where it was gonna stick through this 5-6%. Dogecoin went down, I want to say 18%, maybe 20%. So Dogecoin went down triple what this went down. Now it's been consolidating. This has been consolidating, but you guys need to be very, very careful, okay? Because if this were to decide to go up, it'd be great. It may, all right? If it were to decide to go down, we saw about a 6% drop here, okay? About a 6% drop. 6% was the equivalent of about 18+% on Dogecoin. So it literally had a kind of an exponential effect on Dogecoin. So let's keep an eye. It seems like it's kind of wanting to maintain. That's okay. But it seems like also it has kind of a pattern behavior here in terms of, if it wants to repeat this kind of price action, etc., that's fine. That'd be great. It gives us some idea. Well, maybe it's got out to, out to this level in here before it decides to go up or down. If we could just apply that interval there. Maybe, that's some kind of logic we could apply to it. There are some other abbreviated schedules, but in terms of this breaking down, just be prepared. There are lower levels, guys. There are lower levels of price targets on Dogecoin that can be executed, right? You guys know that there are lower levels that we can accumulate into. The next level, in terms of a strike price, should be around. Okay, should be around. Let me not do the vertical. Let me do the horizontal. Should be around the 14.8 and around there. Yeah, about that. 13.9. Let me see what we got. Hold on. 14.8. Yeah, it's going to be 14.42. I can zoom in and let you guys know exactly. Let's see about the 14.42. 14 cents. Yeah. Okay. And that's kind of confluent and around 13.9, 14.2. All right. We discussed that in the Discord today, so you guys are aware of that. We can kind of pull up the RSI, look at that briefly if you guys want to. It's been performing very strongly. Okay. So I'm not sure how pertinent all of that is, and we're really just kind of in a pattern, kind of waiting to see what it wants to do. Does it want to continue to go up? You guys have made money. The group has done relatively well. I don't know really anyone who hasn't made money on this trade. So congratulations, you made money on that trade. And now it's not necessarily these drastic, kind of predictable, beautiful breakouts of classical continuation patterns that we're looking at to where everyone's just skyrocketing money. That's not necessarily happening. We're in kind of a recovery phase. You know that. There's kind of a recovery after the crash. So we want to make sure that we don't go down further. If we do, we're going to be ready at these levels for reinvestment. That's where these reinvestment levels are going to happen based upon the program that we've been given by Binance. Okay, so we understand that these Fibonacci's are kind of preordained levels. They are going to give us the entry prices exactly, okay, as they're going to apply from the 14.42 to the 20 cents. Okay, now those are just the kind of the preordained levels, guys. I couldn't change it if I wanted to. I mean I could, but then it would be wrong. I wouldn't be doing the program correctly, so I'm not going to do that clearly. So these are not pre-contrived kind of notions that I'm coming up with. There's no real variability in the. But isn't that nice? Now we really get to bring that over, and now we can see the thing. I guess we could have done that earlier. That's a nice chart. It doesn't look as confusing. Now you can see how the different levels of the Fibonacci's are working out, and we're kind of back up into this teal level. Okay, this is kind of the break. If we decide to remove these channel lines, it'll clean up even more. We'll get a clearer picture of what's really gone on here. That's looking pretty phenomenal. That's looking pretty good. Now the channel, that specific amount of investigation, kind of the analytics that we did there, that gave you a good perspective in terms of kind of what the threshold here is. I'm not going to put a mark on the threshold. I'm not going to say as a matter of fact it has to or it only can. I don't think it's a good time to do that while it's performing so strongly amidst everything else declining. I don't think that the rules necessarily apply, guys. I think it's kind of Dogecoin. It's within its own right. I just want to give you all. I want to give you all the tools necessary to be able to analyze this on your own, okay? So that you understand the kind of the nature of the complexity involved and what goes into forming a pricing target. Well, it's real simple. Just draw two lines. No, guys, it's very complicated. Or do we operate on the candles? Do we operate on the line chart? What time frame are we in? Are we on the current trend as fully applied from the origination or the base level? Have we skipped up and are we now on a different kind of Fibonacci level without this kind of precursor pricing event that's not in line with the overall kind of, let's say, the heightened slope of dynamic, the heightened slope dynamic of this of the subsequent price action here? A lot of different questions. And if we go through all that information very quickly, it's difficult to really wrap your mind around what's going on because I went over some stuff today with somebody, and I said it's kind of like a preschooler who goes and learns about they'll learn a school bus. They'll point to a school bus. They'll learn a stop sign. They'll point their workbook to a stop sign. There's a bird. Hey, they'll point on a bird. It's kind of the equivalent, like all of these different objects that are identified, from a horizontal channel to a bull flag to a bull pennant to a continuation or a frequency zone, whatever you want to talk about. All these different dynamics, guys. You weren't taught as a young kid to point at something and say, well, this is a pivot, this is a reversal pattern after a horizontal, a diagonal channel to the upside, which is essentially a bearish pattern. So we would expect a breakdown. You're not taught that stuff as a kid. We know what a stop sign is, but when you put it in the context of a market and some technical, complications, it's not easy. So don't think that you're supposed to just understand all of this and whether or not you're on candles versus candlesticks versus being on a line chart. Whether or not you should really look at an area chart. Whether or not you're fine on a line chart. All of these complications are just that. They're features and they're complications, and they apply to your trading. So we're glad to be able to be here and to bring you this information, and we're glad that people are continuing on, say, amidst a recovery. Now, guys, you understand that the flip here would be we're still in this zone where everybody's just cranking down money and everyone's just, we're all in this euphoric kind of wonderful, headed to the dollar kind of feeling. That was occurring, and around here we had a great run up. Then we had a huge, massive problem with Bitcoin. So that caused a lot of fallout. I don't think it's anything that Dogecoin did. You guys know that. You guys have been fantastic as a community. There's no reason to think that Dogecoin's done anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with Dogecoin. The overall market is kind of saturated with $2 trillion, the crypto market, and people are kind of wondering, well, where's the next $2 trillion going to come in? That would be nice, because if everything were applied just $2 trillion, we'd get some nice appreciations in price. And so I don't know if it's at kind of a critical limit right now in terms of overall market caps. I know there's a diversion away from Bitcoin into things like Dogecoin. That should hopefully continue. And as we look here on the right, just look at, Dogecoin's up. It's amidst a lot of red. So you guys are doing very well. This pattern in terms of the diagonal channel, I don't know if it will continue. I did want to come live though, because I had discussed with some of the guys in Discord. I discussed on Twitter exactly the fact that this was an entry level right here, because I began to see a pattern. I'm not going to trade something. I'm not going to trade in the dark. I'm not going to just run around in the dark with a blindfold on, just in case, just in case I can't see already. I'm going to run around in the dark with a blindfold on. No, it's like literally that's kind of the idea. But after we secure the profits, all right, secure the profits. Great first trade amidst a difficult kind of recovering situation. We held this line, miraculous. Great to hold it. Not real surprising, but it was really nice. And around the 1948 or the 20-cent mark. Made some money on that. The trade made some money on it. Then we look at the next. Well, now it looks like we're forming into a diagonal channel. So now we have a trend to go on. Guys, we have to have a trend. We can't just trade into the dark. All right, we can't just say, well, I feel like it's going to go up. No, guys, we have to have some kind of element to where, and I'll bring this up one more time, this sine. All right, that's what you're looking at in terms of the application of a trading philosophy to a diagonal channel. Why? Because essentially the buy low, sell high is applied within that diagonal channel. All right, you see these undulations? Okay, those undulations give you the opportunity to sell high, to buy low. Okay, to sell high, to buy low. So we're in kind of the low phase right here, but it's broken out of that channel. So the predictable nature, this perfect kind of frequency that this distributes in terms of the data points. I heard someone say that today. I like that. The data points, the price points. You see this sine wave in here, right? Now it's become a little less predictable. It's wanted to kind of misbehave here, and it would have been nice if it stayed in that channel perfectly, but it has proven that it already wanted to get back into that channel. So I felt like coming to you live. I wanted to discuss the issues of, and there's the Twitter and the Discord. I appreciate that, Yoski. You are brilliant for doing that, just so everybody gets a good flavor of. Let me see if I can put these up. Well, I'm not sure I can. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can post these to the top of the chat. You guys go ahead and drop in the chats where you're from in the world right now, where you're from. Put that down in the chat room so we can know exactly. Let's see what we got. Let's see. There we go. Let's pin the message. I'm going to pin up Yoski's message right now. You guys drop in the chat room where you're from. And let's see what we have on. Let's see what we have. There we go. The pinned message is right there on the top. You guys add in where you're from and let us know where you're from in the world. And let's just go through kind of a checklist of where everybody is at right now. Also, if you hold Doge, throw up a hand, just like the hand emoji, like just the full palm hand. Go ahead and put that up in the chat room so we can see that light up. And yeah, we've got guys we have people from traders from all over the world. You guys, and yeah, let's look at those hands start to pop up, and you guys take a look at the people that are out in the world that are holding Doge, trading Doge. If you trade Doge, okay, if you're into trading and you like these pricing dynamics, go ahead and put a diamond up. If you can put a diamond emoji up, and let's see how many people are trading in terms of trading with pricing targets, etc. Let's see how that is working out, and you guys can get a good impression of kind of the mix and the crowd right now. Well, typically we have about, so you guys know your community, we have about 174 in the room right now. Some may be shadowed, they're not really showing themselves in the room, that's fine. We also have typically we'll have like 2,000 that will circulate in and out. We'll stream for a little bit to try and maximize a zone of distribution. So we're working real hard here at the channel just to get the information out, because guys, it's a good community. We like the price action on Doge. It's phenomenal. We were involved, a lot of my friends were involved very early with Doge at phenomenal prices that you guys probably won't believe right now. You might believe them. It's a good price. And that's when we were just discussing getting in, etc. But yeah, a lot of us trade. Okay, so we like the community. We've been around it for a while, and we're very familiar with it. So it's nice to see all those diamonds popping up there. You guys get a good look at the crew here. It's there are people that are trading, right? They want to trade, and we talk about that alpha again. We have some alpha guys. Let's take a look at Twitter real quickly. Let's see if we can meet any more of these people that have decided to join us in the journey on Twitter. Okay, yeah, we got about 6 new people. 27 others down here. Again, for Twitter, just type in The Kingdom, TheKingdom, right? And I say this enough so you guys can tell other people too. And if you haven't signed up yet, it's past time. All right, type in The Kingdom to the search box in Twitter, and then you'll have to scroll down and put Go to the Kingdom down here. Say Go to the Kingdom. All right, that's not it. Altcoin Daily. We don't want Altcoin Daily. Let's see what we have. I don't know what they're pushing other coins. That's heretical. Go down here, click on Go to the Kingdom. And guys, all of our followers, this is all generic. We don't pay for followers. We don't just pump up our numbers. We don't do any of that stuff. We do give you pricing targets, and we give you different trades throughout the day, and we keep you up to date on what's going on. And guys, some people are making good money. I know some people that are just not risking too much. That's another aspect. People, I don't like to see people just go nuts and go bananas and put the whole, put the ranch on it. That's not the idea. And I'm also not a financial planner, guys. I don't care what your budget is. That's not my business. I'm not planning for the ranch and the honeymoons and whatever the cruise. I don't want to handle your money. I'm not into money management. Let's say hi to Travis. Travis, how are you? The Almighty One. What's going on? Kind of cool deal there, huh? What's up, Travis? Danny, Wander, you guys, Youssef, Reach, and Ricard, Rio. What's going on? And Monty Girl in the house. Nice to see you guys. Plug in. Also getting involved with the Discord. I think you'll like it very much. And yeah, we've got just some good responses here. A lot of people just saying Dogecoin's going to the moon, like 3,000 people tweeting on that. Liking that tweet that we did. And I got to show you guys this. I hope you like it. You give me your feedback if you like it or you don't like it. Especially tell me if you don't like it. But on the profile, I put like a space guy with a. It's just different, guys, and it's just a space guy with the laser eyes. Crypto Kingdom, crypto with a K. Crypto Kingdom, and has a moon there for you. I think that's just cool. It's just dynamic. I haven't seen anything else like that. Real unique. And then the bull with the Bitcoin in the background. We'll see how true to form that can be. Professional financial analyst and former U.S. presidential advisor, prior hedge fund expertise. Not financial advice, not going to happen. Not financial planning, not going to happen. But I've been an advisor to the president. That was very nice during the time in which it was nice. And I've moved on to crypto. I just enjoy it. It's just a different space for me to operate in, and I really enjoy it. So I enjoy having you guys here, and we're looking at whether or not we can maintain this. I told the Dogecoin army, you guys need to maintain this channel. It's not looking bad. I don't know what it's going to do. It's kind of an open-ended invitation for another trade at a different, lower level. I'll say I wouldn't recommend this right now because it's kind of showing a divergence away from its continuation pattern. Whether or not we've reached the threshold, it's all right. We're okay with the fact that if this wants to move down a little bit and kind of reform, it just doesn't look like it wants to do that, guys. Since the market reset a number of hours ago, it just looks like, again, it's just going to outperform the rest of the market here. And what do we have here? We've got Space Ranger with a powerful super chat. That is very nice. We appreciate the validation. That means a lot that you guys are able to do a super chat. Thank you, Space Ranger. You appreciate the time and effort. Investing is a bit of a learning curve for an aerospace engineer. Yeah, there you go. There you go, brother. Well, aerospace engineer it must be. I'll tell you, I spoke with a guy, a former Navy, who he went to work with General Dynamics. And if you're into that, he as we talk about aircraft and spacecraft, etc., the gentleman was he was high up with the Navy, and he went to work with General Dynamics. And the projects that he was working on, he was just telling me, he was describing it as like advanced, almost hypersonic spacecraft. And the years he was referring to, I was like, dude, I was like, that's nice. I was like, you got through high school okay, you went to college okay, like very brilliant guy. So I appreciate having you here. And it's just funny, Space Ranger. When you validate like that, it means the world to us because we do work very much. You guys, well, it's only $10. Well, yeah, but it's a big validation in terms of someone just appreciating and deciding that they want to to validate us, the work that we're doing. And it helps me because I know you guys are making money and you're following someone's trades, you're doing something right. We want to be with a group that's doing something right. And we've been getting a lot of pricing targets that are exactly right. So I hope that some of you guys are listening and that you're able to bring that into the space in terms of just the notion that you're able to compute when we say this is a pricing event and you get into it and then you're probably making money because we're just telling you what the software is telling us. That's all we're really going through is what the software is telling us. Okay, but we're able to apply it very well. So I imagine there's I'm hooked on this whole aerospace engineer, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon. I don't know what you've got in terms of General Dynamics. You've got all kinds of interesting, fun things there. B-61-12 standoff, self-propelled, tail-guided impact nuclear weapon. I'll give that to you, Space Ranger. Not literally, but that is kind of my forte. What I just spit out at you there in terms of nuclear engineering and nuclear aerospace engineering. So big wink on that one. That is not classified information. That is not classified information. I'm sure, anyway, I'd like to hear more from Space Ranger in terms of what he has for any military out there, any of you guys from the true believers to the just kind of weekend warriors. I'll just say welcome to all of you. We appreciate you being here. You're very much appreciated, and I think you guys know that. So I don't know if you guys would like to just kind of Space Ranger didn't really bring up any kind of an idea that he wanted to talk about. No question, just a comment. Just appreciating the time and effort. We appreciate you guys as much as you appreciate us, and that validation in terms of the in terms of the opportunity just to support the community. It's nice to see people who want to support the community. That's nice. Let's see. It looks like we have one more notification here. Also, maybe another individual has joined us up, or we have some more action. Yeah, we got some more people that are following out. Just a quick shout out that we do these. Ryan, Randall Good, Paradise, Souls, and Mira. Welcome. You guys put your profile picture up so the community can get to know you. And it's going to be nice when the community all can pull together and you guys understand. We have people all over the world. You guys get to meet people all over the world in the Discord and the Twitter. It's a great place to interact. And we'll do just a shout out to the alpha traders. Okay, alpha is the percentage by which you're able to trade and beat the market. Anyone can just hold something, and it goes up to whatever price it goes up to. We want to multiply our money by 2 and 3. That's the idea, or increase by a significant margin degree in excess of the market gain. That's alpha, the percentage by which you beat the market. All right, so shout out to the alpha traders. Okay, those are people who are in session and digesting some heavy technical information. Okay, the majority of their work they're doing is on their own. It is big time technical information. And guys, we're using the primary, kind of the primer book on technical analysis, and it's getting into how to capitalize on kind of the historical price action, bringing that into play. All these buttons you see, this is all the standard of the industry, guys. This is all technical analysis, okay? So enjoy it. It's a market. You can take advantage of it. You can make money. So we look forward to you guys continuing to do that. And let's see. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Just pepper up some questions and let me know kind of what you guys do have going on. Here we go. Another Red Raider. What's going on, brother? People asking to check on Harmony One. Hit that up button. There we go. Excuse me. Let's look at Harmony One. Pardon me on that. Let's see what we have on Harmony One. Harmony One was another one, guys. And for you guys in Doge, Harmony One is the brother of Dogecoin. Harmony One got stopped out by Binance. You guys got stopped out at Robinhood, so it may make sense for you guys to plug into Harmony One. It's got the similar feature of being very, very popular amongst this group and very loyal crowd. We love Harmony One community. That's our community. We have loved it for a long time. So we will follow the advice. If you guys want something looked at, hit me with a super chat and we'll get into looking at it. It's real simple. So we will certainly do that with Harmony One. It'll be a pleasure to do that. And let me get up to the fib here. So what we have is that we hit our target exactly, guys. We hit our pricing target here exactly. This was our pricing target, and precisely We hit it. It was amidst the crash. So those of you who are involved in that, you made up to 45%. You're still sitting at a 30% gain, and I talked about the whole time that was your heaviest level of investment. So it's not just 30% gain; it's literally the 30% gain on the entirety of your investment. So that is good. Okay, that's real. You know, that's a real that's a clincher. Okay, that's what in terms of kind of clinching the season. That's very good. Now, in terms of where you're at, guys, you're still falling off. We need to see some influx of capital and some moves to the upside. If we can start getting those, we can start getting excited about it. Until we get those moves to the upside, it's just kind of looking like we need kind of a reset in the form of capital. I just say that we need kind of a reset in the form of capital. And that's a capital influx so you guys understand the story. The market cap has to go up. We have to recruit additional funding, additional funds and consumer interest into Harmony One. And it's been difficult because there hasn't been any like groundbreaking news recently. We like the story, we like management team, etc. But we've been very clear that we're trading this, and guys, we've traded this one. I love the pricing action. For those of you who are looking at trading, the pricing action on this sucker has been wildly phenomenal. I'm talking 10, 20%, 30%, 30%, just back to back to back to back to back to back. It's been phenomenal. So it's provided us a lot of that pricing action. We're very fortunate to look at it in terms of where it's going right now. I'm just going to say it is holding well right now. The Harmony One guys are holding. Okay, they're like Dogecoin. Now, and again, this got taken down, guys, by Binance. Binance was real instrumental and affecting that up at the top. It was at 20 cents. It got there very quickly. I'm not sure if jealousy got to people or what it was, but you're 30 to 40% from our pricing target. It was perfect, right? So you're still at 30%, 40%. You're doing very well. Okay, so let me get back to this. This will be a better way to look at it. So that's it on Harmony One. It's a real simple story, and it's worthy of getting some sort of attention from the management team. Now, I'm not talking about a new pairing on a new exchange. It doesn't need a new pairing on a new exchange. People say, well, there's great big news. There's a new DEX out, and the new DEX has a new pairing with 3 other coins. You know, you can play the pair it with 3 other coins for the next 5 years, guys. So bridge protocol is nice. I'd like to see like some major developments and just some cash influx. A major business deal with like a city. You know, the management team goes to Harvard, goes to Harvard Business School, goes to Wharton, goes to privileged universities like Stanford. Make a deal with the company. You guys can do that. I'm talking to the management team. I'm not being too rough. I mean, we're investors. We're investors looking to invest more. You're looking to attract investors. It's just going to be by promoting what you already have. I think it's going to be by real news. And I haven't seen any real news. And I don't want to sound frustrated, but I want to see that because I care about the community. I know the community well, so I'm speaking on their behalf. I want to see that news that's going to inject capital into this coin. A lot of people believe in the story. A lot of big names believe in this story. I want to see the news behind it. I want to see the business deals done, taken care of, signed, sealed, delivered, bam, put in the record books for this, because none of that has happened while it's continued to retrace. We've made a phenomenal, a killing at the targeted prices. Phenomenal. We've gone in the history books on this. We've hit every pricing target. It's behaved exactly as it should have, but it doesn't mean that it should have or it had to. That's the same thing I'll talk about with Doge or anything we trade. The guys, when we're putting forth pricing targets, we don't want it to go down, but there's no real good news. We'll trade it on the way up. If it wants to do a breakout of a reversal pattern at any point in time, wants to get into a reversal pattern, we'll trade it on the way up. Any day of the week, we'll do that. We haven't had that here because there's been no real new capital going into the mix of things. So that's critical. And that's Harmony One. Love the community. Love the pricing action. All right. I want to see some news from the management company. So I say that just with a kind of a heartfelt. Just a heartfelt, realistic viewpoint. Now we're looking at, kind of a pattern here where, Harmony One had gone up and retraced a little bit and kind of been frustrated with a double top. This is kind of frustrated with a double top. It looks like, the difference as we look at this, it looks like Dogecoin is recovering more clearly. It has more investors in it at these levels. It's receiving more positive price action. Recovered here, nicely. It's recovering. Seems like it's recovering quickly here too. This is in a number of days, guys, as opposed to a number of let's say a month. So this is where price action becomes preferable for people. Yes, the fundamentals are fine, but the price action, okay, is going to dictate a lot of what people are attracted to. People who want to trade, guys, we're going to trade on something which has positive price action. Okay, and in terms of the opportunity that presents to us, it's just it's more conducive to people who want to be in a market. And I know people get real sensitive about what they like or what they don't like. Dogecoin here, people are very exclusive. At Harmony One, they just want Harmony One. Ethereum just wants Ethereum. Bitcoin just wants Bitcoin. You show me something with price action that's predictable, that I can work with on an analytical level, and I will be involved in it if it's going to present the type of framework that I can consistently capitalize on. And I can teach other people how, essentially, the fundamentals of the market. I can't even work with some of these other charts. I can't work with some of these other coins, and I don't even recommend that you guys would. And I'll just say this: we've been working with Dogecoin. Look at what everything else is doing right now. Look at all the red on the board. What are we working with? We're focused on it. We're working with Dogecoin. Maybe that's a coincidence. Okay, but we're focused on this. This is the second or third day that we've been focused on this. It's doing well. Well, everything else is just dunked. All right, so that's the kind of price action, positive price action that I want people to learn on. People who are spending time on the channel, people who are looking at, they want to become more involved in the market, making their own decisions on themselves, educating them when they're away from the stream, getting involved in the Discord, signing into Twitter, getting our pricing targets, analyzing them for themselves. Right? Deciding if they want to make a trade or not. You guys can go, just shoot in the dark and see if you want to, just shoot in the dark. I don't know that that's, I don't want to see people doing that. And right now I see the other coins, the price action on them. I'm just like, that's what I feel like you would be doing. I don't even think you have a chance at learning the fundamentals of like a market, like the market theory. Yes, I have a certification from Duke University in markets. Okay. So I've trained with, aside from that, $1 billion deals. That's just the truth. I have the resume. I'm not going to sit here and tout it. I don't have to. Like, you guys have degrees. You guys have professions. Some of you are VP regional managers of major corporations. That's phenomenal. We can do this. But I want to trade on something. You think, well, it's kind of light on the fundamentals. Just go heavy on this fact. You're printing 5 billion additional ones of whatever this incrementally produced inflationary. Dogecoin. You don't see that inflation anywhere in the charts. You don't see those 5 billion coins anywhere in the charts, guys. So what's really happening? You're really throwing 5 billion extra coins into the market. I think it's an interesting story, but I just don't buy that. I don't get that. It's being accumulated heavily by certain individuals who have a long-term interest in it, I would think. And some people, I think, come to mind immediately. Elon Musk. Hey, Elon Musk, you guys want to learn something about Elon Musk? I want you guys to know this is a very interesting comment. And I want to teach you guys something about Elon, the whole interaction of kind of what has occurred. And a lot of you want to get everything right, huh? A lot of you want to trade very well. A lot of you want to get into making the right decisions, and things have to be the right way. You're only going to deal with, you're only going to deal with success, right? I want to bring up a situation with Elon Musk. I want to remind everybody what happened in and around, and let's go back to, please tell me we're going to bring this up in the chart, February, and let's see where we're at. Let's continue to go back. Do you guys remember the exact date? I think it was like February. There we go. All right, guys. This is the lesson for the night. All right. The lesson for the night includes the fact that I hope you will all recall that the number one businessman in the world, the guy he's that successful, right? Yes. If you recall, Elon Musk, during this time period, as I will recall it, it's either at this date, I think it was in around this date, it may have been around this date. Let's see what happened here. I think it was around this date. The 5th, that's January, huh? Yeah, that's January. I'm trying to find where he actually did it was one of these two areas, all right? One of these two areas on this original spike, I think it was around here. It may have been around here as well. It may have been both. When Robinhood decided they wanted to interfere with this. This is a great lesson regardless of what you're invested in. Elon Musk, during this time period, came out and said, you guys remember, amidst this spike, he said, hold. You guys remember when Elon Musk, the richest guy on the planet, one of the richest guys on the planet, I have a feeling maybe some of the richest guys don't let you know they're the richest guy on the planet. That's okay. But he's doing very well. He said hold in and around 7 cents, guys. I bring that up because you always want to make the perfect decisions. You always want to be an excellent trader. You want to look at our stats and our history and say, well, not bad, not bad, London. You're 5 out of 6. I'm going to give you, you're 5 out of 6. I'll continue to watch. Really? Thank you guys so much, because I have to bring up the fact, and I want us all to realize this, because sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. I talk to some of you guys, aside from what you might throw at me, some of you guys are just like, man, I can't get this right, man, it's just difficult. Think of this real quickly, and I thought of this because I want to give you some perspective. It's not just at me or at you. We get a lot of things right on this channel, guys, okay? And so does Elon Musk in his business. But understand this, Elon Musk told the entire community to hold. All right, and I'm just going to bring that up. Was it wrong? No. That's what he wanted the community to do, was hold, right? But what did that mean? Well, it means people are going to hold on to what they have and not sell, and then that's supposed to be a good idea for everybody, right? That's supposed to be what's supposed to happen, right? Well, we had a problem, didn't we? And I bring this up because, guys, if you don't get your trades right, look at this. You have the #1 business guy on the planet right in this area telling everyone to hold. Literally, he has tweeted literally that exact fact. Since then, what happens? Well, then it went down 65%. So the #1 businessman in the world recommended to all of you that you hold, and then the value of everything went down 65%. Okay, so in terms of your litmus test for yourself, in terms of how you're gauging yourself, you're like, well, yeah, it went back up there. It sure did. It went back up there, and I think maybe he said it again or not. I don't know. 10 days later, it did, and that might have been when Little X bought in, and then it kind of eroded. Maybe Robinhood got involved again. I don't know. A lot of those circumstances could continue to occur or have occurred. I'll just say in and around the time of anytime there's this frustration and price to the upside. It's not everything you can control. So we get into circumstances we can't control. If the #1 business guy, you say, well, it did recover. It sure did. And then it went right back down into this trough. And guys, look for how long. Look for how long that was incorrect. And I'm not harping on Elon at all, but I want you guys to feel better about your own trades. I want you to feel phenomenally well about the trades that we're making in this group, on this channel. Because the #1 business guy in the world sitting there telling everyone to hold. And you can tell me, well, you're not real certain about when you should always sell your trades. Do you think? Guys, the #1 business guy in the world, literally at this mark right here, telling everyone, no, you guys hold. Okay, good. Okay, and it might have been here as well. I think Little X. I think it's awesome. Little X got involved with the trust for Little X, and I'm not harping on Elon at all. I know the best, some of the best traders in Wall Street, on Wall Street that I've hired with my private hedge fund. Okay, in the past, so. They've had days when they come up and they get it wrong. The best guys, the best traders on the street. So if it was this area too, well, what happened? Well, it went down 65% the first time. But then I guess it just goes down about 50%. For how long? I don't know. Maybe was that February, March, April? Maybe 2 months, 2.5 months. All right, 2.5 months. That's a long time, guys, to just lose 50%. To sit there and have lost 50%, that's a big deal. That's a bad call, Now, long term, it's worked out perfectly, It seems more appropriate, like in here, right? In and around here, like in the bottom level, hold. Yeah, that's not easy. You guys stuck with it that long. Don't ever think that, and I'm not being mean at all on anyone. I'm trying to make you guys feel a little better about yourself. You have the #1 business guy on the planet making a call that results in like a loss of 65% of your money. Okay. You weren't just handed out, or you weren't just given additional, we're going to decide, you guys go ahead and hold now. Don't take your profits. And, don't worry, you're going to get more money here and you're going to reaccumulate. No, that's an imbalanced decision. Okay? That was an imbalanced decision in terms of your ability to profit on this, to accumulate more coins. Difficult scenario, difficult things, interference with major exchanges. These things happen. His fault? Maybe not. Okay? But it's just an example. And guys, we love him. He's a great guy. He's a star-studded, extraordinary man. Now, as we look at that, though, look at what we're trying to do. We're trying to consistently give you guys pricing targets that you guys know. It's just like bam, 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 right? That's all we do here is give pricing targets. Where you guys carry it out to, that's kind of your own baby. That's your own deal. If you can lock in 20%, beautiful. If we hit this number 2 up and we're up 60% on the whole of information we've brought to you in terms of the actual pricing, the pricing event ahead of time, and then we let it ride. We let it ride, and then bam, we decide to get back in when it's really trajectorying up. It's in a nice, beautiful channel. There's no real reason to sell. And I'm like, let's get back online and let's stream. We're up. It's into like a 5 or 6 hour stream. It's a big stream, but I wanted to make sure we're there with you. A lot of the 6,000 people watched this video on this price target. That's a lot of people, guys. It's not like the millions of people, etc., but that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people enough that decide, okay, there's a pricing target. Yeah, it's a pricing target. I didn't just invent it. It's just it's literally calculated already. It's just you have to know how to calculate it, on which time interval to do it. You have to know literally just the ins and outs of computers and software and data analytics and technology. You just have to know how this stuff works, pricing dynamics. You just have to know that. I think you guys know a lot about that and you want to learn more, or you already know enough and you're just kind of hanging out and you agree. But I want to bring that situation up with Elon, because you guys may not make the perfect decisions in here. Well, welcome to the crew. Like, with Elon, etc. It's just he's the #1 business guy in the world. He tells you to hold, and then it goes down 65%. So I may be a little bit more cautious sometimes on the big plays. If I can directly lay over some information and technically speaking, if this is a perfect play for me, which this was a perfect bull pennant that I could not pass up, that's fine. That's fine. And what happens at the top? You buy low, and what do you do at the top? Well, you buy low and you sell high. Monster Cat Slobs. I have no idea what that is. That's okay. That's the name of some song. Is this called Slobs? I have no idea. If this is called Slobs, I think I want to change the... No, it's not. It's called Shingo Nakamura. Okay, it's Shingo Nakamura. I have no idea what Slobs is. Maybe it's an abbreviation for something. Anyway, what I'm going to bring up the fact is, like, when you buy low and you sell high. That's strange. I'll look into that. Buy low and sell high. Maybe I was just hacked. It could be. I talk bad about Elon Musk and maybe I get hacked. It's possible. I doubt it. It could happen. Stranger things have happened. Buy low, sell high, right? We don't want to see you get 50% of your value eroded. If it goes up, it's going to go down. That's nothing I've been discussing with the guys, the alpha traders. Guys, if the price goes up, it's going to go down. Nothing goes up forever. The more it goes up, the more it's going to come down. This type of pricing behavior is very healthy. We believe it will accomplish some really great things for Dogecoin. It will give it kind of an infrastructure and a base to work off of. And as long as there is this, huge high appetite for this asset, we believe it can continue to really do well and go up. It's just a matter of supply and demand. It's real simple. You go to business class, your first econ class, you're going to figure this stuff out. There's just a lot of demand for it, and it's being accumulated well. And a shout out to Elon, because he's in the public light quite a bit, and that's not always easy for him to just be in the public light. We have Space Ranger again. Space Ranger is in the house. You guys pay attention to Space Ranger. He's a community leader. I'm going to go ahead and say that because he's supporting the community. This is part of the community. All you guys watching, etc. This is part of the community. Now it says, of those that receive stimulus checks, who invested them? I didn't receive one. Just curious to see how those investments worked out. Nice call. Nice question. Let's go ahead and ask that. Space Ranger has that question in the chat. So go ahead, you guys. The question, I think, is a great question. Okay? Of those that received stimulus checks, who invested them? He didn't receive one. Okay? It'd be interesting to know if you guys did receive one. I'd like to know that too. Put the, the money icon, the money emoji, or put a thumb up. Put a thumb up if you received a stimulus check. Let's get into that. Put a thumb up if you received a stimulus check. That's important information. Both you can do a like if you want to, and you can also do an actual thumb up in the Discord or in the chat. I use the thumb up. You guys can do the like also. The like helps me know how many people in here have just kind of been in here and not hit the like button yet. I haven't been doing that. Normally I do that, but that'll help me just know that you guys are in here, and it just helps me track the number, because sometimes we have like 2,000 people rolling in and rolling out. I don't always tell them, hey, everybody do that, but it'll help me know how many of you are new or how many of you started from the beginning. If you didn't start at the beginning of the chat, go ahead and hit the thumb up so I know we may need to cover some different issues. So some people still stimming. Yeah. Definitely thumb up. Did Doge freeze? All these different things. Yeah, so we're looking to Doge. Invested into real estate, some of you. That's great. It's a great question. We love that question. See the community that we have, guys? It's like professionals. These guys are very, very good. So we're getting into thumbs up. Okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate knowing that. I appreciate you guys hitting that like button too. That helps. My key is like I like to get to like 100 likes. That's cool. If there's like 100 people that this kind of touches and it connects with you and you like pricing targets, etc. You know, that's nice. It doesn't take many of us, but just those who want to trade, etc. And let's see. Yeah, now you're getting into the stimmies. I like that. Statue of Liberty. That's cool. That's nice to see up there. You guys see the kind of community we have. Space Ranger, you're in the house, man. I love hearing that. Thank you for being part of the community. That means so much. I mean, now that guy's that's a community leader. It's real easy to be one. It's your platform as much as it's my platform. So if you like this space, you want to enjoy it, look what Space Ranger just did. I mean, that's exactly how this works. You know, you got a couple hundred people and a couple thousand people are going to watch this overall. So interact with each other. You know, just you know, we'll continue to do that. I appreciate someone just deciding to do that. That's nice. So yeah, that's it doesn't have to be me talking the whole time. That's phenomenal. So let's look at what this is continuing to do here. Let's kind of get back into here while and if we bring up some more questions, that'd be great. If you guys have some more thoughts, you want to get into some more thoughts, etc. We'll see what all that all is going on there. Let's see if we can bring this back into the original. Let's do this. I'm going to teach you guys a trick. Control Z, okay? Control Z will put back your chart the way that you had it and walk you back through in time where you were set up ahead of time, okay? The one danger is that you're going to flip back through other charts like we went to Harmony 1. You guys remember that? We went back to Harmony 1 to talk about the 40%. It was up on our trade. That's great. You guys did a great job there. Congratulations. We love you guys. Okay, back into this. Control Z is going to walk you back into the entirety of all the changes that you've made on your charts. All right? So you can do this if you ever have to reset something or you ever had something the way that you really liked it. Okay? And it's like, man, I can't believe I reset that, right? Well, Control Z is going to walk you all the way back through all of this to try and get your there we go. See, now it's going to rebuild. Remember we were talking about the different time intervals. There we go. Now it's rebuilding the way we originally had it set up. Now this gives a lot of validity to the original construction of how we were looking at things. Let's go back in terms of what all was discussed. If I'm going back in terms of people that are new into the chat today, and this looks a little chaotic on the screen, but we're walking back through what was discussed. Let's see. All right, so it didn't want to pick these back up all the way. That's okay. That's interesting. We went through all that. It didn't want to pick those back up. What we were talking about, the original trade here, and let's go back into the, let's make sure we're in the 1 hour. That's fine. Let's go to the 30-minute. Was this trading channel, okay? Whether or not it can continue to maintain this. We had discussed with, and I brought up with the Discord earlier today, that this was an opportunity to enter into a trade and around right here, okay? Advance was 26266, and let's see what else we may have had here. Just to recap, and this is the information I'm able to bring to people. 2626, 2611, low entry 2611, 2626. Okay, so that's essentially what we brought in to the crowd, the Discord crew. Okay, and that's just a real tight group of Doge traders and technical traders and anybody who's trying to make money. So this 26. Let's go ahead and re-put this or re-raise this, the 2626 and around there, 2625, that's fine. And that can go down to 2525. One thing we're seeing is kind of confluence of all the moving averages. That's kind of real important. This 2626. Now that was our entry point today, was the 2626. It looks like you're doing pretty well. You know, on the entry point in this was the second trade that we did today. Again, it had some degree of, you're up 5%, 5 to 8%, depending on if you decide to cash out. That's at the 2626, or 2614 actually. But if you got in close, if you got in at the 2611, if you were able to pick up an order there, some of you guys may have done better than that. So it looks like you're maintaining that positive trajectory. You're trying to pick that up. You're trying to keep that, even though you've broken out of this channel, it just looks like you're trying to maintain that positive trajectory. You got still an RSI that's kind of it's kind of building. It's kind of it's not wanting to really back down. You're almost forming kind of an upward. I mean, look at that, guys. You're just really. I mean, that's kind of a strong chart just within the RSI. I mean, look at that. That's you're almost forming an increased level of support within the RSI. That doesn't happen all the time. That's nice. A lot of buyer strength coming into Dogecoin. That's beautiful. Like to see that. You see kind of a confluence of the moving averages, kind of moving into this area. It's kind of all kind of consolidating around the pricing structure as it's continuing to go up. It's very positive. It's very positive for those of you who moved in at the original price that we gave in around 20 cents during the crash while things were crashing along. You did well. I've spoken with a lot of you, and that's exciting for me to know that you're doing well. You get those moving averages out of the way so that we can just kind of focus on. We did give you updates today on the exact breach of this channel and the fact it still didn't reach down to this kind of light red line. So we're kind of waiting. We want to see what happens. We already capitalized the trade out, okay, in around this area. Some of you may still be in it, but this 20 line was very crucial. The 20 range right in here was that Fibonacci, the redrawn Fibonacci, the second Fibonacci we drew that we went into, and we went ahead and let you know on the, this is the side action here. Let's see, we talked about exit from the 1948. Some of you I think are still in from the 1948 position, but these are all on the very right. These are positions in terms of the 1948 that you guys can just pricing targets that were developed in line with this, but distributed to the community so everyone knew this is the chart that people are trading on. This is the one that people are looking at. This is kind of as accurate as we as a group have been able to put together. So that's just that's just kind of where we're at. That's what we have been doing. That's the active trade right now. That's what's going on. And we want to see that continue to grow, and we want to see it continue to do well. We talked about whether or not it's out of, essentially, is it out of steam? I don't think it is. I think there's still some opportunity for it to do well. If it can, it's just, if it can continue to break the record here and show this and kind of the durability and kind of this offset, this outlier. Everything else is in the red, it's in the green. We're on the right channel, guys. We're on the right track. And I think we're drawing the right figures. And with this kind of, this upward channel, it reached a point after a comfortable exit where people, I knew a lot of people, they made money on it. Some people made very good money on it, okay, on this price entry. It was a dynamic drop. It was predetermined, and some people have made good money on it. So congratulations to you who have done well on it. We're glad to be able to bring you that information. So I can take any kind of questions, I guess, that you guys have, or I can kind of let you guys go. I know it's Saturday night, and it is about midnight in Central Standard Time. So I think we do have, let's see, we're going to have channel memberships. I want to do that. I also do have, I want you guys to know, in the Doge, there's a place in the Doge pound here in the Discord. You're able to ask me questions if you'd like to ask London questions. I do also technical training throughout the day for people who are very interested and want to excel and want to literally, the manual is about 500 pages, 600 pages. You guys can go over that on your free time. But it goes like some criticisms of the technical approach. It goes through like random walk theory. It'll really help your vocabulary in terms of your ability to describe what you're involved in and what's going on. But it'll go through, all types of charts. It'll go through, swing trades, failed swing trades. It'll go through all different types of things that we can apply. So I do sessions with people, which is essentially like alpha trading, and that's the essentially how you're able to beat the market. The regular returns, the amount by which you beat the regular returns, that's called alpha. So we want to get into alpha. And it's not a Series 7 program, guys. I have to tell you, you're not going to be a licensed broker. I know you're frustrated to hear that, but you're not going to be a licensed broker. I'm not going to hand those out at the end of the class period. But it's just kind of a review for educational purposes. I've served as a mentor in some very high-line kind of intelligence. Believe it or not, like intelligence. I think I'm intelligent because I was in an intelligence school, And I graduate work, guys, at master's level, and yeah, I was like number one. Okay, I did very well, and I just believe in hard work. I'm not the smartest guy on the block, but I'm smart enough to work harder than everybody else on the block. It's what I will continue to believe. So I think collectively we can do some great things. It's been a good stream, guys, and it's about midnight. I'm going to go ahead and just let kind of probably everybody go. In terms of Dogecoin, watch this level. If you wanted to stop out, you might want to stop out around here, but guys, it's still functioning well. It's stuck around that 2%. Let's see if it wants to kick. Wouldn't it be great if it kicks back up in this channel? It may decide to do what it wants to do. I think you're protected. You've made money in the last 48 hours, and even you recovered this golden pocket area. Guys, that's crucial. Let's just draw a line over to this golden pocket, and let's make this real sound and secure, because there's been no failure whatsoever overall in terms of every level having been hit now officially. Okay, so if you picked up along the way and you did our double down approach down to here, yeah, you're back in perfect. It's a great way for us to close this out, because yeah, that golden pocket which you may have hit, which got surpassed in the heat of the moment there, guys, you literally have recovered that. So anyone who decided to hold through that and acquire at the lower level, beautiful. If you stopped out of that, you might have made that up. Literally, if you had stopped out of that and around here, and y'all listen to this real quickly, if you had stopped out of your golden pocket entry and you decided to reaccumulate down here and you made 10 or 20% here, that's nice. You probably made up that, if you're paying attention today, you probably made up the amount you stopped out at in this other trade. I think you're more than making up for that right now. So what we're left out of that is the net of this other trade and around this lower level at the entry around the 20 cents. So this makes things net positive. Okay, net positive. You're net positive for the last 3 days. Is this 3 days? What is this? Yeah, 2 days and 9 hours. You're net positive. So we want to keep you in that net positive all the time, and just prove up the strategy, prove up what's going on. All of these are positive, 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 positive. So we do not have, literally, we don't have a circumstance right now. If you stopped out on your trade on the way down, or just heavy, multiplied up, you may have gone 4x or 5x on this lower level at the 1948 or that 20 cent mark. I always talk about heavy weight on the way down, double, triple down. Some people understand you may do a 5x in terms of your investment at the top level, or a higher level trying to hit like a golden pocket, that 0.68% retracement. Yeah, we may get into and literally do like a 4x, 5x, or a 10x down below it to really cover that. So that's just a trading philosophy that's kind of used by some of the bigger players, okay, to mitigate your risk or to eliminate any risk of your loss. And yeah, these levels play, guys. They play. So a 10 or 20% on heavy cash, that's heavy. That's a heavy return. That's okay. In addition to all these great incidents that we had earlier on, where we were able to come up with a pricing target, deliver those to you, and it looks like you guys are doing phenomenally well. And we now have officially made back up any marginal loss on your golden pocket, if that was breached through and you got hit with a stop loss and you cranked out. If you still hold at that level, guys, you're in back at that level, so you're in, you're out on that trade, in addition to hopefully doubling down at this level, getting cheaper amount of cheaper coin. So this is when everybody's like, yeah, we're in the money, right? You got to follow the channel. You got to understand our overall philosophy and strategy. But yeah, I'm very confident that anyone who has been following along, okay, any of you guys right now that will hear this in the future, anyone that's been following along is okay right now. The market has recovered. The title of this video, I think, was something along the lines of kind of recovery, right? Crypto crash recovery. So we have recovered. The market has done it, and I think there were some good major players involved in that. And just congratulations, guys. It has worked out. You're back even with this residual profit on top. So you now have, literally, you've broken even on your golden pocket. That was not expected. No one wanted that to occur with everything, but that has washed out just cleanly, just evenly. Yes, good job, guys. Who would have thought this would just want to get all the way back up here in a nice, timely, and orderly fashion, and just be a beautiful upward channel to bring you back into that. What a great way to close out the week here as we look at starting the week here in tomorrow. Okay, so this weekend is a good one. This 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the 5 skip, 6 hit, the 5 now, you guys are okay. This little golden pocket, that's okay. You've gotten back up to that level if you chose to accumulate. If you followed the 0 up top, zero investment at the top levels, about 100, maybe 200, 600, 1800, 5400. Now, I'll just tell you, those are different ideas to give you an idea of multiplicity of what may be required as you go down to play different levels, so that you're never overexposed at the higher levels. Okay? We don't want you overexposed at the higher levels. We don't want you paying high prices and coming to us later and say, well, my average is, if it's 3 times what the price is, we can't tolerate it, because we care about you guys and we want you to be okay. So never get put in that position where you don't have more cash to layer in and really heavily hit down below. It's not an easy setup, guys. You have to have some cash that or you can enjoy and just learn to trade. There's nothing wrong with that, not being a heavy hitter. You don't have to do that. Understand, Elon Musk, one of the best business guys in the world, guys, he told you guys to hold at was it 7 or 8 cents? 8 cents, and then it went down to like 4 or 5. You lost 65% of your value, within probably 12 hours of him saying hold. So that's okay. It's not that he made a bad thing. That's what he wanted everyone to do. Just hold. Well, you could hold, but you lost 65% of your money. That's not too cool. That just happens, though. So understand, don't be so hard on yourself. And I'm not criticizing Elon at all, because that just happens. So the fact that we're able to bring these pricing targets, just bam, 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 everything's just, knock it out of the park again. That's what we keep doing. And it looks like we've been covered perfectly on this. So I think our track record is just phenomenal. It's working out. One thing, this golden pocket, we'll never forget that golden pocket, huh? The way it just crashed down. We may blame Bitcoin for that forever, but we'll take 5 out of 6 when the 5, when the extra 1 is an even wash. Hey, beautiful. So let me know how your trades are working out. You guys continue to focus and work on your materials. I'm gonna flip over to the Discord now for a little while and just relax. And just continue to watch this stuff. Have your pricing levels set, and it's the weekend, so kind of unwind a little bit. Let this price action develop, and your exit levels. If you want to just wash out on that, cover your golden pocket wherever you're at. You may not feel like doing that now, but just remember, you buy low, you sell high. What is it now? Well, it's a decent recovery point right now. So I'll leave you with that. You buy low, you bought low, with hopefully a heavy amount of money that we discussed earlier on. And then it's maybe a nice, you buy low, you sell high. You guys do the math, all right? Once you guys protect, I want you to take your profits. No one ever went broke getting paid, okay? So enjoy your evening. I'll see you guys over in the Discord. And this is the Crypto Kingdom. I'm London. If you guys want to maximize your profits and receive critical, accurate, and timely information, make sure you follow us, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Also, make sure you join our Twitter. Real quickly, the last thing on the Twitter, you type in to the search box, The Kingdom, or the Crypto Kingdom, crypto with a K. The Kingdom, scroll to the bottom. You need to go all the way to the bottom of the search box. Click on Go to the Kingdom. And when you click on Go to the Kingdom, you click on Follow and turn on notifications. That way you get all of our pricing targets,